Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Friday, everyone. On the thumb, on the left, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, and on the right, superstar for the Tampa Bay Rays, Junior Caminero. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners, playing shortstop tonight, J.B. Crawford. Batting second, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting third, DHing the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing first base, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting sixth, playing center field, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, playing second base, Cole Clutch Young. Batting eighth, playing right field, Miles Mastroboni. And batting ninth, playing third base tonight, Buddy Kennedy. And on the mound for the Mariners, 3-7 record, ERA of 4.79. It is La Piedra Luis Castillo. And now let's get into the starting lineups of the home Tampa Bay Rays. Leading off for the Rays at DH, Yandy Diaz. Batting second, playing first base, Jonathan Aranda. Batting third, playing third base, Junior Caminero. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, center fielder, Cedric Mullins. Batting fifth, playing left field, Chandler Simpson. Batting sixth, playing right field, Victor Mesa Jr. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Taylor Walls. Batting eighth, playing second base, Richie Palacios. And batting ninth, catching today for the Rays, Hunter Fiducia. And on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays with a 7-2 record, ERA of 2.61, it is Nick Martinez. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All day in the building. Daniel in the building. Libra in the building. What's good? Obviously, that Miami series did not go the way that we expected. And unfortunately, with the concussion, Julio Rodriguez, I was hoping would be back by today or tomorrow. But he's going to sit out the rest of the games until we get into the after post All-Star break. So we will not see Julio today, tomorrow, or Sunday, which is really unfortunate. We need him, offensively and defensively. So Julio's out until after the All-Star break, and then that first game back, he will be available. But again, in these last 3 games, when you're playing against the number 1 team in the American League, you would hope that after getting hit in the head, going from first to second from the Angels, I'm not really sure if, 10 days plus is really needed, but again, if that's what they feel is best for him, then I guess we can't argue, but again, I feel that, at this point that he's probably healthy enough to go, so I'm not really sure if this is a Julio thing or if it's like the trainers and the medical staff. If I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably a little bit of both, trying to be able to kind of come to an agreement, we want you to be healthy for the rest of the season and whatnot. But again, when he ended up initially getting hit, he stayed in for an inning and then they ended up pulling him and then put him on, the 7-day IL, which is now turning into more of the 10-day IL. But again, the one thing that we do have going, for us is that we do have Randy Arozarena and Luke Raley going against their former teams. So sometimes that ends up being something, where they really try to show the former team, hey, I was really good here. You should have never got rid of me, or I should have never, maybe left. But hopefully, we can end up getting the bats to come alive. Normally it's 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and we have to have our pitching give up 3 runs or less for our starters. And we don't really know what the bullpen will do. But again, when you're 54-37, 33-14 at home, number 1 in the American League, we already got beat up by the hottest team since June 1st in the Miami Marlins. And I imagine this is going to be a very tough series as well. I'm hoping somehow by a miracle, that we can win 2 games out of 3, but realistically, we're probably only going to win 1 out of 3, maybe none, and then obviously as we go into the All-Star break, we got to get healthy, and then hopefully we'll be able to have a healthy Julio and Brendan Donovan back a little bit after the break. But again, the schedule makers did not do us any favors with the Marlins and Rays back-to-back, but we just got to be able to do the best that we can. Mike in the building, Hawks in the building, what's good? First pitch to J.P. Crawford. Diving catch, throw to first, and just in time. And that is 1 away. What a catch. And J.P. Crawford on the first pitch with a line drive that normally would have been probably a single. But again, the defense there, by some of these players this season have been incredible. Caminero at third, and then obviously you've been able to see some of these guys, playing like Palacios and Walls, at second base and at short, as Randy Arozarena gets a standing ovation. A very big fan favorite there in Tampa. Luke Raley, also part of the Tampa Bay Ray organization. And let's see if we can get the best version of Randy Arozarena in this series. We're going to need him. First pitch to Randy, popped up behind the plate. 0-1 count. I mean, the last thing that we need is to go 0-6 in the last 6 games, because obviously right now I believe we're a half game behind the Rangers. They are playing the Astros, so that will be good for us. It'll be a tough matchup, between both of those teams, and it's crazy to say, but we're kind of actually rooting for the Astros to win a couple games against the Rangers, and then hopefully we can win 2 out of 3, and then at some point hopefully be right there neck and neck, as we go into the All-Star break with a very similar record with the Rangers. 1-1 pitch, low and away with the changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Top of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Rays. Little chopper towards third, throw to first, and that is 2 away. And the Tampa Bay Rays are in first place for a reason. Great pitching, great defense, great starting pitching, really good bullpen. Everything has really been going, their way. And again, the Yankees and the Rays at one point were kind of neck and neck, but after the Aaron Judge injury, obviously the Rays have really been able to put the foot on the gas. Next up is the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. 15 homers there for Dom so far. Big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Come on, Dom. We need you to be able to get on base. 0-1 pitch in there for another strike to Dominic Canzone. Another big swing and a miss, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Nick Martinez to Dominic Canzone. And it's crazy that they have 3 pitchers, that have 80-plus innings with ERAs under 3. It's pretty incredible what the Rays have been able to do pitching-wise this year. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Nick Martinez to Dominic Canzone. Pitch number 3, low and away with the changeup, 79 miles an hour. Pitch 4, high and away with the changeup, same miles per hour, 79, high and away. 2-2 pitch from Nick Martinez. Hard hit ball by Canzone, fading into left field, out of play. Sinker, 92 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 2-2 pitch for Martinez. Little dribbler towards first. Should be a routine play to first. Toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. All right, let's get into the bottom of the first inning and see who's up next here for the Tampa Bay Rays. Leading off for the Rays at DH, Yandy Diaz, who's been absolutely incredible this season, batting .326. Batting second, playing first base, another great player, Jonathan Aranda, batting .287. And batting third, the All-Star, batting .277, but number 1 in home runs, and this will be my pick to win the home run derby. You know, got pretty close last year. I love him, Junior Caminero. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And on the mound for the Mariners, 3-7 record, ERA of 4.79. It is La Piedra Luis Castillo. And over his last 5 road starts, Luis Castillo, believe it or not, is 2-1 with an ERA of 2.33, 7 earned runs, and 27 innings pitched with 9 walks and 25 strikeouts, keeping the batter's average to a 188 batting average. Now, that's probably not going to happen here today, but again, at least something positive in his last 5 starts on the road. In his last 2, he's been pretty good. Been able to give up 2 runs or less, but we haven't been able to get run support. That's really been the big issue. But we do have Logan Gilbert on the mound tomorrow, and then we have Emerson Hancock on Sunday. So, we got to be able to have our, starting pitching do their job as well as the bullpen, but really, we got to be able to get the bats, to come alive, and especially with no Julio Rodriguez for the whole series. It's a little disappointing, but again, we just got to be able to do the best that we can with what we have. And again, Randy and Luke Raley are former Tampa Bay Rays, so I assume that they're both going to have pretty good series, and hopefully that'll give us a little bit of an emotional boost and lift because we're going to need it. First pitch in there for a strike from Luis Castillo, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, another strike. I like that. First pitch, slider at 82 miles an hour, high and inside. Second pitch fouled off, high and inside with a 4-seam fastball. No balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Diaz. 0-2 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Rays. Angry in the building, what's good? Mike, Hawks in the building, what's good? Libra, Daniel, all day in the building, how are you? Little dribbler up the middle. JP is there. Throw to first. And that is 1 away. JP Crawford getting back to play in his normal position with Colt Emerson with the day off. Good defense there by JP. Next up in the 2-hole, first baseman Jonathan Aranda. On deck, all-star, third baseman Junior Caminero. First pitch, fouled off, out of play there by Aranda. 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, right down the middle, 0-1 count. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Oh, 1 pitch popped up. Deep center field. And Randy can't get to it. Luke Raley flips it into the infield to JP. And that's a stand-up double there for Jonathan Aranda. Would like to see Randy hustle a little bit more there. And again, if, it gets hit in between Luke Raley and Randy, we just got to hope that, there's a little bit of hustle there and whatnot. And, Luke is going to try to do his best to be able to time it up, but looked like that ball was closer to Randy and not a really good effort. I mean, he stuck his glove out, but I didn't really see him hustle. But again, we are kind of, known that Randy doesn't like to hustle more plays than not. Next up is Junior Caminero. First pitch is outside with the sinker, 1-0 count. Yeah, I always try to be able to find those unique ones, especially with defense, action shots. They're kind of far and few between, but every once in a blue moon, I'll be able to find some really killer ones. 1-0 pitch, low and away, change up 86 miles an hour. 2 balls and no strikes from Castillo to Caminero. Really looking forward to the home run derby as well as the all-star game. Even though Randy is our only participant at the moment, there are a few guys that have got in, due to others with injuries, or deciding not to play, like Aaron Judge and a few others. 2-0 pitch, low and away. Slider 84 miles an hour. 3 balls and no strikes to Junior Caminero. Justin in the building. What's good? 3-0 pitch, high and away. And honestly, I don't mind walking, the best player on the team. For a guy that's going to have a really good chance, to hit 40 to 55 home runs this year, you got to be able to, just a little bit of give and take, and I'd rather walk him than give up a single, double, RBI, or home run. But now we got runners at first and second. Hopefully we can get a double play on center fielder in the 4-hole, Cedric Mullins. Rebecca in the building. Trident's up. First pitch into Mullins in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by La Piedra. 0-1 pitch. Popped behind the plate and foul. No balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Mullins. And again, we know Castillo is our worst pitcher out of our starting 6, but within his last 5 road starts, he has been good. And within his last 2, really good, giving up 2 runs or less. It's just we need the offense to do their job. And obviously at home, we can do it. 4th of July, we put up 11 and then 4 on the Toronto Blue Jays. But on the road against the Marlins, the hottest team since June 1st, it has been tough. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Mullins. I like that. And that is 2 away. There we go. Good job, Luis Castillo. And hopefully we'll be able to get his ERA below 4 before the season is over. Next up in the 5-hole, left fielder Chandler Simpson. And we got to be able to leave these runners stranded. Tampa is not a team that necessarily is going to hit a lot of home runs. They're just really good at manufacturing back-to-back hits or more, and then obviously getting a lot of ribbies. Now, can they homer? Yeah, Junior Caminero is the main guy, but again, this team is really, very strategic, and they're very calculated. So, we just got to be able to hopefully limit a little bit of the damage. And obviously get a few good defensive plays to bail him out. Little dribbler right there, JP, and no play. Come on, JP. No even throw to second base. And now we got bases loaded with 2 outs. And again, Colt Emerson not in the lineup, just with the day off. But I think if Colt Emerson was playing, he would have made that play, or at least he would have attempted to throw. Come on, JP. Yeah, we're always 500. Sometimes we'll be, 4 or 5 games above, but, this season we could be 15 or 20 games below if you really think about it, with all the injuries that we've had to our star players. Also a few guys playing, worse than we thought. Kirby, Wu, Mooney, and it's not like we have a great manager either. So, with all, things being said, we have to be kind of thankful with all the things that have gone sideways. We could be 15, 20 games below 500 and, floating around 500. It may not be ideal, but I'll take it, especially if we're hovering around first and second place in the AL West. And we're definitely a much better team in the second half, and hopefully we don't have as many injuries, because if we're going to make a deep run, we can't have them. First pitch is high and away to Victor Mesa Jr., 1-0 count. Bases loaded with 2 outs. We cannot let them score here. Tom in the building, what's good? 1-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. to Victor Mesa Jr. And after getting swept by the Marlins, can we get swept by the Rays? Absolutely. This team is 54-37, 33-14 at home, number 1 in the American League. Better than the Yankees, better than the Mariners or any team in the AL West, and better than the White Sox and the Guardians, who similar record to the Mariners and the Rangers, normally usually about a game or two above 500 or at 500. And even though the Yankees are, 5-10 games above, no Aaron Judge has really hurt them. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Mesa Jr. Yeah, Julio's out for the series. They said that pregame. I was really hoping he would be in the lineup today and not today, tomorrow. But I think it was a combination between the trainers, the medical staff, and Julio to sit out the rest of the games of the first half of the season. And he'll be ready, obviously, first series back after the All-Star break, which is a little disappointing because we need him in this series. And that's in foul territory and caught. There we go. Look at that. Buddy Kennedy, was the guy that we brought up for Rob Refsnyder. And you don't expect anything out of a Buddy Kennedy, but there you go. He ends up making a play in foul territory. He doesn't run into Cal Raleigh. Cal backs off at the last second. Buddy gets it. And again, we don't expect anything out of Buddy Kennedy. I am kind of excited that Mastrobuoni is playing to give him a chance to at least get into a rhythm. But good job by Buddy Kennedy making the play in foul territory. Bases loaded. They leave him stranded. And normally that's something that happens to the Mariners. So we'll take that. Good job there at Buddy Kennedy. And we don't even have any Mariner photos of Buddy just yet, only this giant one until they end up taking a few more photos. But great job, Buddy. All right, next up, end of the first inning, 0-0 Mariners and Rays. And that could have ended up being 1-2-3-4-0 in the first inning. So I'm happy that we kept it at 0-0. All right, next up for the Mariners in the top of the second. Let's get on the board first. In the cleanup spot, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. I would have rather seen Cal slide down to the 6-hole spot since he hasn't really been hitting that well. But again, the middle of the order has been struggling. Batting second in the 5-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third, the former Tampa Bay Ray, like Randy Arozarena, in the 6-hole, filling in at center field for Julio, Luke Raley. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. 69 subs to go to 24,500, less than 600 subs to go to 25,000. 6.2 million views and counting on the channel. Next goal will be obviously 7 million, then 8, 9, and 10. Looks like we gained a sub since the commercial break. Appreciate you. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train. And let's see where we're at on the likes here early on in this matchup as we go to the top of the second inning. We got 129 in the room, and we should be in the 20 to 40 range, I assume. And where are we at? We're at 41. Good start. 59 to go. Rebecca in the building. What's good? First pitch by Cal Raleigh. Hard hit ball. Deep right field. Back to the wall and caught. And that is one away. Shout out to our female audience, like the Rebeccas in the room. I see you, Joe, and Dave as well. But shout out to our female audience, our new subs, all of our regulars, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Everyone watching in Australia, New Zealand, and that part of the world as well. We are global, and I appreciate every one of you. Dave in the building, Mike in the building, Joe in the building, Rebecca in the building. Let's get it. First pitch from Nick Martinez to Josh Naylor. Takes a strike looking. Slider low and away. 84 miles an hour, 0-1 count. And we're going to need the middle part of the order to be patient, which has been the big issue. Raleigh, Naylor, Raley, they all have home run power, but they haven't played up to their potential lately. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes from Martinez to Naylor. We got Young, Mastrobuoni, and Kennedy at the bottom of the order. I don't expect anything out of Kennedy, but again, Cole Young and Mastrobuoni should be able to play somewhat well. And then you got JP, Randy, and Dom at the top, which I feel confident in. But it's all about that middle part of the order. Supposedly the power hitters, but they haven't really been playing like they have power. They've been really impatient, and it's hurt us. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martinez to Naylor. If they could just have patience like JP, Dom, and Cole Young, we would be able to manufacture more walks, get the pitch count up, and maybe even get some big single doubles and home runs. But The lack of patience with the ball club is just maddening. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nails, Josh Naylor. Nick Martinez on the mound, one of their aces, 7-2 record, ERA of 2.61, and they have 3 pitchers that have 80 innings pitched with ERAs all under 3. And again, they've even moved some guys from the bullpen as starters, and it's worked out for them. So again, everything rolling for the Tampa Bay Rays. I hope one day the Seattle Mariners can have a 54-37 record. Who knows how many years down the road that'll happen. But in a 3-2 count, Naylor ends up forcing the walk. And again, when you end up being down in an 0-2 count and you can force 4 straight balls, that is something that we have not seen this version of Josh Naylor do in quite some time. But it looks like the patience was heard by Naylor, and we have a walk at first by Nick Martinez. Good job. Next up, the former Tampa Bay Ray, Luke Raley. And we're really going to need Raley and Randy to play well against their former team since Julio is still out with the concussion. He'll be back after the All-Star break. Patrick with a $2 holla to get us started. Thank you so much. And we also got a $5 from Angry. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. We're at 7 on the Dono train. Shout out to Patrick and Angry. 0-1 pitch, little dribbler towards first, double play. And again, double plays are normally done from second to first, not first to second. But I guess on the bright side, at least Josh Naylor doesn't get hit in the back of the head like Julio did. Double play is acquired there by the Rays, and that is out number 3. And normally we don't bust out the Mariner Moose early, but again, against the Marlins and Rays, we got to do as much, Mariner Moose as possible. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second inning, and hopefully we won't have to worry about them getting on with bases loaded again. Next up in the 7-hole, shortstop Taylor Walls. Batting second in the 8-hole, second baseman Richie Palacios. And batting third in the 9-hole, catcher Hunter Fiducia. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. '50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40-plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. He's retiring after this season, so we are going to dedicate every stream this season to one of my favorites of all time, Rick Riz. We love you. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 68 subs to go. Do 24,500. 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. We're at 7 on the Dono train. 93 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes. With the Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays going head-to-head here this afternoon. All right, we're at 48 likes. We're almost there to the halfway point. 52 to 100. Lawrence in the building. What's good? Julie in the building. What's good? Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, let's go, Castillo. Your last 5 road starts have been pretty good. Last 2, starts have been spectacular. We just need run support. And again, when you don't have one of your best players available, not just Julio Rodriguez, but Brandon Donovan, 2 starters, but we haven't had Donnie since like the first month. It definitely has hurt us, and we definitely would have a much better record even with those 2 guys being healthy for the most part. 0-1 pitch, high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Walls. And we want Castillo to give up 2 runs or less. And magic number for the Mariners is 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And again, if we're able to, kind of keep it somewhat close, we might be able to win a game scoring 3 runs or 4 in this series. But again, to be safe, you want to try to get to 5. But that's been a challenge for us lately. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Walls. A nice punch out there by Castillo. And that is 1 away. Good job, Luis. And considering he's our worst pitcher, we do need to move him to the bullpen at some point. But again, as of late, his last 5 road starts have been somewhat decent. Down goes Walls. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. And that is 1 up and 1 down. Next up is second baseman Richie Palacios. First pitch, high and inside. Paints the corner beautifully. 0-1 count. On deck is Hunter Fiducia. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Change up missing, 87 miles an hour there by Luis Castillo. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the second inning, 0-0, Mariners and Rays. One pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Castillo to Palacios. Let's go. 2-1 pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Palacios. And for a majority of the pitches, and we'll see how long it'll last, because usually Castillo only has 1 bad inning, where he'll get rocked for 1 to 5 runs. And as long as he's, been able to limit the damage and gives up a run in 1 inning and maybe a run in another, we might actually be able to win this game. We just cannot have him give up 4 or 5 runs in the 4th, 5th, or 6th inning. Usually first couple innings, he's usually pretty good. And then the 4th, 5th, 6th inning, usually that's where trouble starts to spike. But, we'll see. But so far, so good based on what I'm seeing here from Luis Castillo. 2-2 pitch, hard hit ball. Laser into foul territory, and the count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Palacios. I mean, they do have 2 hits, obviously, in the first inning, and they did have bases loaded, but nobody scored. And again, when you have your worst pitcher out of the 6 on the mound, you don't really have a whole lot of confidence. But again, his last 5 starts on the road have been good. Last 2 starts have been phenomenal. 2 runs or less. It's just the run support needs to step up today more than ever. Pitch fouled off, out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Palacios. 2-2 pitch, popped up. Luke Raley is there in center, and that is 2 away. And remember, I've been following this team for like 40 years, and I have never, and I mean never, seen a Mariner team this beat up ever, in 40 years. So again, and it's not just, average or below average players that are getting hurt. Our superstar players are getting hurt. Players are playing worse than expected. Wu and Kirby and Mooney, we didn't anticipate that, and losing Donnie after the first month, we didn't anticipate that either, and having injuries to Cal and Julio and Dom and Rayleigh and Naylor. It's like pretty much everyone has been, bit with an injury for a minimum of a couple games all the way up to a couple of weeks, which is not ideal. So, and then we also have guys that are missing months like Brash, Criswell, and Vargas, which obviously has really killed our bullpen too. So it's a number of things, with bad managing on top of that as well. But, we're still in first, second place range with the Rangers. We're a half game back, and we just got to be able to tread water until we get past the All-Star break. 1-1 pitch, a little dribbler up the middle. JP cannot get there. Wonder if Colt Emerson would have been able to get to that ball. And a nice single there by Hunter Fiducia. Callie in the building. What's good? Cade Anderson's going to start for the American League Futures game on Sunday, which is awesome. Well-deserved. The best pitcher in the farm system. And next up, the best hitter besides Junior Caminero on this team, Yandy Diaz. Got to be really careful on how you pitch to Yandy. 325 average, 13 homers, 55 ribbies. First pitch, high and inside, takes a strike, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Popped him up. Get that, baby. Get that, Buddy Kennedy. And look at Kennedy making plays. No one expects anything out of Buddy Kennedy in the box, but has made great plays in foul territory, saving us extra base hits and runs. Good job, Buddy. And Buddy Kennedy, if you haven't heard of him before, he hasn't really got a whole lot of playing time yet. He was the guy that we ended up bringing on after Rob Refsnyder got hurt and went to the injured list. So obviously you don't really expect anything out of him, at all. So anything that you get, offense or defense, it's a huge plus. And so far, 2 nice catches in foul territory to end the first and second inning. Nice job, buddy. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners as we go to the top of the third inning, and let's get on the board. Next up in the 7 hole, second baseman, my favorite player, Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. Batting second, welcome to the lineup. In the 8 hole, right fielder, we've missed you. Should have never got sent down, Miles Mastrobuoni. And let's bring Johnny Pareda back up to the team as well. If we have a lack of hitting, Pareda can hit. Come on, Mariners. And batting third, in the 9 hole, third baseman, making plays, obviously, to end the first and second inning, Buddy Kennedy. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. We're at 7 on the dono train, 93 to go. 68 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub moments ago. Thank you so much. 67 subs to go now to 24,500. And let's see where we're at on the likes as we go to the top of the third inning. All right, we're at 57 likes. We're almost there. $43 to 100. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all of our new subs, all of our regulars and OGs, and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Right ends up. Let's go, M's. Let's do it for Riz. And we got to be able to do it for Julio. And again, for a guy, that is as important as Julio Rodriguez, just look at the Yankees. They're not winning a whole lot of games with Aaron Judge out, and not having Julio Rodriguez is definitely impacting us. Now, are there games, where Julio may go 0 for 4, 0 for 5? Of course, he's a professional baseball player, but more times or not, especially this year, he's been able to get, hits in some multi-hit games, homers as well, hard hit ball by Cole Young, right field, and foul. Wow. That would have been an amazing home run there by Cole Young. That would have been number 11. But again, the defensive impact that Julio has in center field, it really makes you appreciate, that Julio is on this team. No disrespect to Randy, Victor Robles, Luke Raley, or Dominic Canzone, but there's nobody that's going to play center field better than Julio Rodriguez. It's the closest thing to Ken Griffey Jr. that we have on this team, offense and defense in the outfield. And let's see if Cole Young can give us a little bit of that magic as another two-way player who's been amazing for us this year. We'll get a gold glove more than likely for his defense this season. 0-2 pitch in foul territory and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Cali in the building. What's good? Honolulu in the building. O2 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Let's go, Cole. And again, I love two-way players. Guys that play offense and defense and care about the game, as well as their teammates and their legacy. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball, deep left field. And Simpson is there, and that is 1 away. Down goes Cole. 1 up and 1 down. And hopefully Cole will be able to get some hits later in the matchup. I believe he will. Next up, welcome back to the team. And the 8 hole should have never left. Right fielder, Miles Mastrobuoni. Let's go, Miles. On deck is Buddy Kennedy. Blue Jay in the building. What's good? First pitch to Mastrobuoni pops up into deep left field, and that is 2 away. Hopefully Mastrobuoni will be able to work the count a little bit more in his next at-bats, but obviously hasn't been a part of the team in a minute since they sent him down. Designated for assignment, sent him to AAA, and again, that was a dumb move. Should have never left the team, and Johnny Pareda should still be on the team as well. Even if he's not catching, you could use, Johnny Pareda as a DH even. He's a pretty damn good hitter. Next up is Buddy Kennedy. And it's kind of coincidental. As soon as we sent down Pareda to AAA, the hitting stopped for the Mariners. Coincidence? I think not. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle there for Buddy Kennedy. 0-1 count. Let's go, Buddy. Best case scenario for Buddy is just like a lot of the lower tier guys, one hit and hopefully gets walked once. And if he's able to do that, that's a fantastic day, as well as making plays defensively, which he's already made 2. So we'll take that. And I don't know if Kennedy has bunting in his repertoire, so I wouldn't really say bunt, but you never know. But not in this situation in an 0-2 count. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Changeup missing there by Nick Martinez. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martinez to Kennedy. Top of the 3rd inning, 0-0 Mariners and Rays. And at least on the bright side, we're not down 5-0 already to the number 1 team in the American League. So we just got to pray that we can end up winning a game or 2 in this series after getting swept by the Marlins. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Nick Martinez to Buddy Kennedy. Yes, I'm going to be doing All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby. I've done that almost every year here on the channel. And a little dribbler towards first. Kennedy running hard, toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. Out of all the All-Star Game festivities, even me as a little kid, I haven't missed a Home Run Derby or an MLB All-Star Game since I was little. So, and again, I've been watching, baseball since, 3, 4, 5 years old. So again, obviously some of those memories when you're under 7 years old are a little fuzzy, but I still remember, sitting there and watching G.I. Joe and Transformers in the early to mid 80s, as well as watching baseball and whatnot. So, hopefully it'll end up being a good turnout, even though we don't have a whole lot of Seattle Mariner representation. But I think the Home Run Derby is going to be awesome because they're going to take away the time rule, and it's just going to be swings now. And I feel like the time threw everything off. And to get rid of the time and just do swings like they used to do, it's going to definitely boost the ratings this year and hopefully moving forward. And then the All-Star Game is awesome for the MLB because they actually try every year. In the NHL, that's number 2 because they actually try. Obviously the NBA All-Star Game is more like the Harlem Globetrotters. They're just doing dunks and no defense. And so for me, and they don't even have the best contestants in the dunk contest, 3-point and skills competition. So for me, the NBA All-Star Weekend has kind of gone downhill. And then obviously the Pro Bowl is no longer in existence. It's like, 2-hand touch, and then they took that away. And now it's like a bunch of games. So, I really am looking forward to the All-Star Weekend, and hopefully our, injured bodies will get healthy. And we're going to hopefully be healthy in the second half of the season. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and see who's up next here for the Rays. Next up for the Rays, 1 for 1. In the 2-hole, first baseman Jonathan Aranda. Batting second in the 3-hole, third baseman Junior Caminero, who I am rooting for in the Home Run Derby. Got pretty close last year, and Caminero definitely will be one of the heavy favorites. And batting third in the 4-hole, center fielder Cedric Mullins. And the All-Star Game is in Philadelphia, so obviously Bryce Harper is involved. I believe Schwarber as well. So, they're going to have some Philly representation. But, again, Junior Caminero is one of those guys that's got good timing, good home run swing. And, I think that he'll have a very good chance of potentially being champion in the Home Run Derby this year. I'd be shocked if he doesn't make it to the finals at the very least. 0-1 pitch. High and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Aranda. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 0-0 Mariners and Rays. Luis Castillo on the mound. Jonathan Aranda in the box. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Aranda. Castillo 3-7 record, ERA of 4.79 on the mound, and Jonathan Aranda in the box. 1-2 pitch, foul back behind the plate. Slider there, 84 miles an hour by La Piedra. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 3rd, 0-0 Mariners and Rays. Pitches high and away, 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jonathan Aranda. 2-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Sinker, 94 miles an hour, long at bat here. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Aranda. And a little blooper over Castillo's head, throw to first, and a sidearm throw by JP, which normally is a nightmare, but at least it gets to Naylor somewhat smoothly, and that is one away. Good job there by JP. I don't usually like that sidearm approach, but he is playing shortstop with Colt Emerson having the day off and Buddy Kennedy at third instead of JP. Good job, JP. Down goes Aranda. Next up in the 3-hole, third baseman, their power hitter, Junior Caminero. And Junior will have a chance to be the home run king this year. He's at 27 homers this season already. So obviously pacing for 54 homers for the season. 27 is insane for a guy like Junior Caminero. But again, you know that he has the potential to be a 30 to 50 home run kind of guy. But 27 in the first half is pretty fucking spectacular. 1-1 pitch. Popped up. And fading out of play. Mastroboni took a look, but it ends up going into the second row. They're in the right field. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the third, 0-0 Mariners and Rays. Now, obviously, Pareda is much better than Garver. Garver's got more experience with the players, but Pareda is the better catcher. And a hard hit ball towards third base gets past Buddy Kennedy. Caminero hustling. Randy, lazy and slow as hell, throwing a lob instead of a laser as usual. And that's a stand-up double there from Junior Caminero. Nice job there by Junior Caminero. That's my pick to win the home run derby this year. And next up in the 4-hole, center fielder Cedric Mullins. On deck is Chandler Simpson. Dank in the building. What's good? That's why you got to hope that any ball that goes to Randy, that's, a ground ball. It's just a nightmare. Underhand throw by Castillo, and that is 2 away. Randy's good at pop-ups for, just as good as, Victor or Dom or Rayleigh, in pop-ups. I think that Julio and Victor are probably the best, or like the ones that I trust. But on ground balls, my God, no effort whatsoever. And then when he gets the ball, like we've said a million times on stream, never throws a laser, only a lob. Singles turn into doubles, doubles turn into triples. It's just, not ideal. I don't like lazy players, and I know he's our all-star, but never runs hard to first, never hustles for ground balls, only throws lobs and lasers. For a guy that's an all-star, that scares me, And think about how much better he could be if he actually fucking tried. First pitch to Simpson, takes a strike right down the middle, 0-1 count. Line drive goes through Castillo's legs and ends up hitting second base and rolls to Luke Rayleigh, and that ends up scoring Caminero 1-0 Tampa. And then the one time Randy actually hustled to first base, what happened? He tweaked his hamstring. Go figure. And that went right through Castillo's legs. Hits second base, pops up to Luke Rayleigh. There's just no play whatsoever unless Castillo would have been able to get a glove on it. And next up is Victor Mesa Jr. And Mesa Jr. with a hard hit ball into right field, fading foul, thank God. Got to get this last out, and hopefully Castillo only gives up 2 runs or less. Victor Mesa Jr. in the box, Luis Castillo on the mound. And not having Colt Emerson on defense, is definitely going to hurt us too. Throw to first. And Simpson is safe. Bottom of the third inning, runner at first with 2 outs. But luckily, we got Logan Gilbert tomorrow and Emerson Hancock on Sunday. So if we can just find a way, I feel pretty good with the Logan game, and Hancock is kind of up in the air, could go either way. But as long as Castillo can keep this somewhat close and give up only 2 runs or less, you would think that we'll have a chance in this, even with no Julio playing in this series. But we're going to need Randy and Luke Raley's bats to come alive against their former team to kind of make up for Julio not playing in this series. Hopefully that'll give them a little extra motivation. But obviously with Randy, we know he doesn't have any motivation defensively, but maybe at least offensively he can do his job. 0-2 pitch, line drive, and another hit right up the middle. And Simpson hustling to third. And now we got runners at first and third with 2 outs. And the Rays are not really, a home run hitting team. Mariners have more total home runs than the Rays, but this is what they do. They're calculated and they can get hit after hit after hit on you. And that's how they end up beating you. And not only beating the Mariners, but, beating pretty much everybody in the league with a 54-37 record, 33-14 at home, which is insane. Got to find a way to get this last out. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Bottom of the third, runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. 1-0 Tampa. Yeah, Paredes was amazing. Him and Mastroboni should have never got sent down. Mastroboni got designated for assignment, then went to AAA. That was stupid. Again, they're paying Rob Refsnyder like $6 million. So that's the reason why they haven't cut him yet. They don't want to admit that they failed and made the wrong decision in the front office. And Paredes is a better catcher than Garver and a better hitter for that matter. And he should have never went to AAA. And again, I know they don't want to necessarily carry 3 catchers, but you can always have Paredes at DH, and have him hit if you want to give Dom a chance to play right field, for example. Pitch fouled off there by Walls. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at second and third and 2 outs. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Slider 83 miles an hour there by Luis Castillo. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Castillo to Walls. One-two pitch, popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Taylor Walls. Just got to keep it close, which is obviously going to be a big ask. One-two pitch. Hard hit ball into left field. Randy is there, and that is out number 3. And thankfully, Randy catches that pop-up. We leave 2 runners stranded, and we're only down 1-0. And again, we could easily be down 5-0 at this point. So, again, you just got to be able to take what, you get at this point and just hope at some point that the bats can start to come alive. Hopefully we'll have some patient at-bats, and we can get some lucky home runs or RBIs. Next up, 0-for-1, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second, left fielder, 0-for-1, the former Ray, Randy Arosarena. And batting third, 0-for-1, DHing, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Rays already have 6 hits. We don't even have a hit yet. We got to get on the board, but we got to get our first hit. Baby steps. 67 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 7 on the Dono train, 93 to go. And we're at 69 likes, 31 to 100. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Tampa. Let's tie the game up or take the lead. First pitch takes a strike, looking right down the middle to JP, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away with a slider, 84 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to JP Crawford. 1-1 pitch, low and away, 2 balls and 1 strike to JP. Two 1 pitch, another ball there from Martinez. 3 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. We got a challenge here. Walk gets overturned, and now it's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. Three-two pitch, hard hit ball by JP, and just foul. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our female audience, our regulars, our new subs, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Tampa, and they've had runners on base almost every inning, and we just got to be able to find a way to, do our offense. 3-2 pitch, hard hit ball by JP, out of range. Go, go, go. Go, JP. Run hard, run hard. Get in there. Yes. And a stand-up double by JP Crawford. There we go, baby. JP Crawford not letting that challenge get him down from going to first off the walk and being patient and finding that perfect pitch to hit up the wall and getting a stand-up double. Great job, JP. Here we go. Next up is Randy Arosarena. On deck is the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go. First pitch to Randy is in there for a strike with a changeup low and at the knees, 77 miles an hour, painting the corner by Nick Martinez, 0-1 count. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Tampa with a runner at second, JP with no outs. This could be the inning where we tie the game or take the lead. Let's go. Oh, 1 pitch, popped behind the plate and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arosarena. And he is going against his former team, just like Luke Raley. So we need Randy and Luke to play extra special, not only today, but this whole series. Oh, 2 pitch for Martinez, high and inside. 4-seam fastball, just missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arosarena. Jerry in the building. What's good? Come on, Randy. One-two pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And no, he did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Nick Martinez to Randy Arosarena. Jerry in the building. What's good? 2-2 pitch from Martinez. Hard hit ball by Randy. Drop, drop, drop. Line drive right to right field and caught. And no room for JP to tag up and make it to third. That's unfortunate. And that is 1 away. Next up in the 3-hole, DHing the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, a little hit up the middle, run! And gets it to first just in time. Down goes Dom, but moves the runner over. JP Crawford to third, and that is 2 away. All right, now if we can just get a patient at-bat out of Cal Raleigh, we might be able to tie this game up or take the lead if he can get a home run. But again, he's been really aggressive lately. And the only way an aggressive at-bat works is if you hit a homer. And we haven't had very many out of Cal this season. Come on, Cal. Top of the 4th inning, runner at third. This is the best chance that we've had to be able to get on the board in the first 4 innings. JP got our first hit so far. And hopefully we can get to pitch 4, 5, 6. And if we're able to get to that with Cal, that's when he's at his best, where we can actually hit a home run or get an RBI. First pitch takes a strike, looking low and away. Change up, 77 miles an hour. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. No balls and 2 strikes from Martinez to Big Dumper. Oh, 2 pitch, high and inside. Cutter missing there by Nick Martinez. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at third and 2 outs. Top of the 4th, 1-0 Tampa. One-two pitch. Big swing and a miss, and that is out number 3. We leave a runner stranded at third, and let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning and see who's up next here for the Rays. And that's why I was kind of hoping that Cal would be lower in the lineup, like 6th. I think he plays better there, until he ends up showing that he can, be a good hitter. There's no reason for him to be batting 2, 3, or 4, especially with all the struggles that he's had. But that's Dan Wilson, I guess, for you. All right, next up for the Rays as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Next up, 0 for 1, second baseman Richie Palacios. Batting second in the 9-hole, 1 for 1, catcher Hunter Fiducia. And batting third, 0 for 2, DHing Yandy Diaz. Trident's up. Let's go, M. 67 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub since the commercial break. Thank you so much. 66 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 7 on the Dono train, 93 to go. And let's see how close we are to 100 likes here as we approach the bottom of the 4th inning. We're at 73. We're almost there. $27 to 100. Donald in the building. What's good? Pooch and Smooth in the building. What's good? Bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 Tampa. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, so far so good for Castillo, and again, in his last 5 starts on the road, he's been very good. Last 2 starts in general have been excellent, but 2 runs or less, but we haven't been able to get any runs on the board. Not only for him, but for a majority of our starting pitching lately, besides the 4th of July game that I went to against the Blue Jays, where we won 11-0. And a hard hit ball by Palacios, and back, and gone. Solo dinger there by Richie Palacios. 2-0 Tampa. And this is the most that we can have Castillo give up. I guess maybe 3 at the very most, but we don't really know who's coming in on the bullpen. 396 feet to right field by Richie Palacios. 4-seam fastball right down the middle, and Palacios made him pay. 2-0 Tampa. Next up in the 9-hole, catcher Hunter Fiducia. Fiducia, little line drive. Cole Young is there. Throw to Naylor, and that is 1 away. And we might not be able to trust Luis Castillo, but I'll tell you what, there's one guy that we truly can trust, and his name is Cole Clutch Young. Good defense there by Cole, and that is 1 away. Next up is Yandy Diaz. First pitch into Diaz is in there for a strike with a slider looking. 0-1 count. On deck is Jonathan Aranda. 0-1 pitch in there for a strike with another slider there by Castillo. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 Tampa. Simpson singled in center. Caminero scoring in the 3rd, 1-0 Tampa. And a solo dinger by Palacios moments ago. Line drive to Randy and caught, and that is 2 away. Thankfully, that wasn't a ground ball to Orosarena. Otherwise, it would have been a double or a triple. Down goes Yandy Diaz, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Rays, first baseman Jonathan Aranda, and on deck, their best hitter, third baseman Junior Caminero. First pitch is high and away to Aranda, 1-0 count. 13 homers, 61 ribbies with a 288 average from Jonathan Aranda this year. And they got a very good 1-2-3 with Diaz, Aranda, and Caminero. 1-0 pitch popped up. Should be a routine play for Luke Raley in center. And that is out number 3. And it stinks that Castillo gave up the homer. But again, normally when he ends up having a meltdown, he'll give up 3, 4, 5 runs in a single inning. So he gave up 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Hopefully he'll be clean in the 5th and the 6th if he makes it that far. And then we just need our offense to get going. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up for the Mariners, in the 5-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Use the leg kick, have some patience, and help our team win. Batting second, 0 for 1, center fielder Luke Raley. Let's go, Mr. Hustle. And batting third, 0 for 1, my favorite player on the team, 7-hole hitter, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. Right ends up. Let's go, M's. 66 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub during the commercial break. Thank you so much. 65 subs to go to 24,500. 7 on the dono train, 93 to go. And we're at 76 likes, 24 more to 100. And that is true. Singles turn into doubles, doubles turn into triples, and a triple will turn into an inside the park home run if it hits it into that left field area to Orosarena. That's kind of a crazy thing to say, but it is true. All right, let's go to the top of the 5th inning, and let's see if we can get on the board. Tomorrow's game will be at 1 o'clock Pacific with Logan Gilbert on the mound, and then on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, with Emerson Hancock going against Ian Seymour. tomorrow is Gilbert versus Griffin Jacks, a bullpen pitcher that they moved into a starting role and has actually done somewhat decent. And a little check swing by Naylor. Pitcher drops the ball, collects it, underhand throw, toe tap on the bag, and that is one away. And Naylor's at-bats lately have been fucking terrible. No patience whatsoever. A lot of garbage at-bats, and that is not ideal with Julio and Brandon Donovan being injured and not in the lineup. We need you to be better, Naylor. Next up in the 6th hole, Mr. Hustle, center fielder Luke Raley. On deck, Cole Clutch Young. Let's go. First pitch is high and away. 1-0 count. Martinez on the mound, Raley in the box. Martinez is at 50 pitches right now, and Castillo's at 67. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball towards first. Fair ball, run, run, run! And just in time as Nick Martinez hustles to first, and that is 2 away. Rebecca with a 5er. Thank you so much. We're at 12 on the Dono train. 88 to go. Shout out to Rebecca. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. Appreciate you. Just a little bad luck there for Luke Raley, which we know, is always going to play hard and hustle, offense or defense. But again, if it was just the first baseman, trying to get back, Raley would have been safe. But Martinez covered first well, and again, if Martinez doesn't have awareness, Raley gets, to first easily. But Martinez with the good speed, and that is 2 up and 2 down. And now we got to hope that Cole Clutch Young can make it happen. First pitch for Martinez to Young, curveball. Low, but in the zone, 0-1 count. Come on, Cole. Oh, 1 pitch, low and at the knees. Good take there by Cole. Changeup missing by Nick Martinez. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 5th, 2-0 Tampa. And we got to be able to find a way to get on a 2-out rally, which we have been pretty good at in the last month. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball, fading into left field, out of play. 251 average, 10 homers, 42 ribbies in his second season here with the ball club. And just as patient as JP and Dom for the most part. And really is, one of the best second basemen in the league already. And again, we'll probably get a gold glove, and hopefully he'll be in the All-Star game next year. 1-2 pitch. And a hard hit ball by Cole Young, deep right field. Back, gone! Let's go! My favorite player does it again. And a home run by Cole Clutch Young. 2-1 Rays. Put Cole Young in the All-Star game this year, baby. Let's go. I'm telling you, there's not very many people that are as good as Cole Young offensively and defensively. Obviously a better hitter than Colt Emerson. And on top of that, better defender. And Colt is good, but Cole Young is one of the best in the league already. And it's showing. Great job. And again, when you get a guy that is kind of a smaller player, whether it's a guy that looks like JP, a guy that looks like Cole Young or Colt Emerson, sometimes you don't expect a whole lot. But Young is one of those special breed players that's going to end up being, very, very good for a very long time. Little slow dribbler there by Master Boney. Toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. But not after my favorite player, Cole Clutch Young, coming up big, and that's in my next jersey. I got to wait for them to be able to make a blue sewn, jersey or a teal. They only have a white screen print available right now, but a steelhead Cole Young, a blue Cole Young, or a teal Cole Young sewn jersey, that definitely would be on the bucket list. Great job there by Cole Clutch Young, baby. I love it. Finally, someone to get us back into the game. Nice job, Cole. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1 Tampa. Let's go, baby. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th and see who's up next here for the Rays. Next up in the 3-hole, Junior Caminero. On deck is Cedric Mullins. And after that, in the 5-hole, left fielder Chandler Simpson. And again, it's like when you see guys, on the roster, that are built for home runs like Cal and Naylor and Rayleigh, but they just don't have the timing, right? And then obviously JP and Dom have the patience, and Julio has the body frame and the skill set to do it. But you would not think, that one of the smaller players that has the, kind of deceptive home run power can get it done. But, Cole is obviously proving that he is the real deal, Holyfield. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Castillo to Caminero. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. Sinker 94 miles an hour there by La Piedra. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Junior Caminero. Oh, it's all good all day. All right, I hope she gets better. Yeah, plus you got to take care of the wifey. You got to take care of the kiddos. No worries, man. Patrick with a tenner. Appreciate you. Reflect in the building. What's good? We missed you. Reflect with a tenner as Caminero strikes out swinging. We like that. And that is 1 away. $11 home runs for Cole Young, and again, with Julio and Dom and Rayleigh, with these guys that are, around that 14 to 15 range, if they're not careful, Cole's going to catch up to them, and that's pretty amazing to think, for a guy his size, but he is clutch. First pitch into Cedric Mullins is a strike, 0-1 count. Chuck with a $1 holla for the homer for Cole. Every dollar counts. Appreciate you, Chuck. One-two pitch, another ball, high and inside to Cedric Mullins. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Tampa. And we just want to be able to get as many players into double-digit homers on the team. We got a few guys, hovering around 8 and 9, like Naylor and Cal. So hopefully we'll be able to get them into double digits as well as Emerson with the 7. So again, just a few more homers, 2 or 3, for a few of the guys like Naylor and Cal and Colt Emerson. And then, then the lineup is going to start looking a little bit better with double-digit homers for almost everyone. As pitches fouled off, Randy with 0 hustle in foul territory. God, man, it is so frustrating on the lack of effort by Randy. You got guys like Buddy Kennedy making plays in foul territory, but Randy is like the laziest player I think I've ever seen. I don't think I've seen anyone as talented as him, as lazy as him. Doesn't ever run hard to first. And when he ran hard to first for the first time in his career a few days back, he ended up tweaking his hammy. Go figure. I guess karma, And then if there's a ground ball in his area, don't even act like he's going to get to it in time, because he won't. And a hard hit ball into right field, back, and gone. Cedric Mullins with a solo dinger, 3-1 Tampa. But when a play is available in foul territory and all you have to do is just show that you care, and again, just lets it drop, it's just ridiculous, dude. Like I said, I'd rather have a guy that plays offense and defense like Lazaro Montes in AAA, right? And a guy that might not get as many home runs. If Randy's going to get 15 to 30, I'd rather have a guy that gets 5 to 15 that plays offense and defense on a high level than someone like Randy that's going to get you, 30, 40 home runs, but doesn't play defense worth a damn in left field. Little bunt attempt. Fair ball. Flip to first, and that is 2 away. Just so frustrating, man. Yeah, imagine if Young would have gotten the other, long hit ball to go yard. I mean, he only has one multi-homer game in his career so far, but I'm not going to be surprised if he ends up having a couple, in the second half of the season. And he's going to have a really good chance to get to 20 to 25 home runs. And honestly, he's going to get a Gold Glove, sooner than later, if not this year. And I assume that he'll be in the All-Star game starting for the American League at second base sooner than later. He might have to start as a reserve like next year, unless he really breaks out and is batting over 300 or close to that and has, a good amount of home runs and RBIs. But, defensively, I don't think there's anybody better that I've seen at second base. And he's only in his second year. We definitely hit it out of the park, drafting Cole Young, as well as Colt Emerson, even though he's been slumping a little bit in the box as of late. But I do really like Colt Emerson's defense. But with that being said, Cole is better. And again, we just got to be able to find a way to do our best to stay somewhat close in this game. 3-1 Tampa. But great to see Michael Arroyo and Lazaro Montes in AAA. Hopefully we'll see Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan get promoted to AAA sooner than later. One-two pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Victor Mesa Jr. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Pitch fouled off, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Victor Mesa Jr. Yeah, but as good as Randy has been in the box, how many runs has he given up defensively? Again, yeah, he's been our most consistent hitter, but there's a lot of negative things, not hustling to first, not hustling for foul balls, not hustling for ground balls, never throwing lasers and only lobs. That's a player that I don't want on the team. And a hard hit ball by Mesa, back, and gone. Golly, stop it with the home runs already. 4-1. Tampa, and they're not even really a home run type of team, but I guess on Castillo, that's what it is. Next up is Taylor Walls. Pitch fouled off there by Walls. No balls and 2 strikes from Castillo to Walls. Jesus. One-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Walls, and that is out number 3. And after the Cole Young home run, Mullins with a homer, Mesa Jr. with a homer, and now we got a lot of work to do. End of the 5th inning, 4-1 Tampa. Yeah, Randy might be our most consistent hitter on the team this year, but I'll never buy any memorabilia with Randy's name on it. I can't stand people that don't hustle, and honestly, I wish he wasn't on our team. I'd rather have someone else on our team that actually cares on offense and defense. So hopefully he'll be on another team next year. Let's go to the top of the 6th inning and see who's up next here for the M's. Next up in the 9 hole, third baseman, 0 for 1, Buddy Kennedy. Batting second, 1 for 2, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 2, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. It's just kind of crazy, with, Randy, if he actually just hustled the first, actually cared about ground balls and throwing lasers instead of lobs, how much better of a player he would be. He probably would be a top 20 player in baseball if he actually fucking tried on all levels of the game. But, for whatever reason, he just kind of picks and chooses when he wants to play. And, that's unacceptable to me. Let's go to the top of the 6th, 4-1 Tampa. 65 subs to go to 24,500. Gain 2 more subs. Thank you so much. 63 subs to go to 24,500. And we're at 86 likes, 14 more to 100. First pitch to Buddy Kennedy is a ball, 1-0 count. And we're at 33 on the dono train, I believe. 67 to go. And Kennedy flies out by Aranda there in foul territory, and that is 1 up and 1 down. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Martinez to Crawford. One pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Martinez to Crawford. One-two pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Martinez to Crawford. Two-two pitch for Martinez. JP pops it up and out of play. Cutter there by Martinez, 89 miles an hour right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Tampa. Well, we had a better option than Mitch. It's Johnny Pareda. Should have never sent him down. He's a better hitter at the moment than Cal and Garver combined. But he's in AAA, so should have never sent Masterboni to assignment and then to AAA. Should have been on the team. I know Ref Snyder's getting paid like $6 million, but it should. That was a mistake. As a hard hit ball by J.P. Crawford lands in front of right field for a single. But again, this is the most injuries that any Mariner team has ever had in a first half of a season. We didn't expect Kirby, Wu, and Mooney to be terrible for the most part this year. And then almost every star player has been hurt for at least a couple days or a week or months, like Donnie. And then on top of that, injuries into the bullpen with no Vargas, Cooper Criswell, or Matt Brash for multiple months. So, there's a lot of reasons why, things have not been going well, on top of not having a very competent GM or a good manager for that, matter. So, there's a lot of reasons, lack of hitting, lack of pitching, lack of, good management skills. There's just a lot of things that have gone wrong, but, again, we have to be happy that we're hovering around 500. We could be, 15, 20 games below. So, it is what it is. We just got to be able to tread water and just do the best that we can with what we have. So. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Tampa. Runner at first with 1 out. And Randy Arozarena making his way to the batter's box against his former team. Sulcer there warming up in the Rays bullpen, the righty. And let's see if we can find a way to get something going here. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. Yeah, Randy as a DH would be smarter, but obviously Dom isn't ready, I don't think, necessarily to be playing defense, and that's why they have him there. But that would be a smarter decision, especially with Julio missing, 7 to 10 days, putting Randy at DH, and, as long as Dom can play, outfield, out there. And then obviously you got him, Luke Raley, and Victor Robles that could be in the outfield. So it's not like they don't have enough bodies to do it. They do. Robles, Raley, Dom in the outfield, and Randy at DH. That would be much better. 2-0 pitch, and Randy with a nice hit, getting into between the gap. Run. And JP hustling to third, and safe. Now we got runners at first and third with 1 out. Good job there by Randy Arozarena. Great job by Randy getting a hit on his former team. Hopefully Luke Raley will be able to do the same. And next up is the Italian Stallion in the 3-hole, DHing Dominic Canzone. Dom gets a hold of one right here. We'll have a tie ball game, 4-4. Let's go Dom. On deck after that would be the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who shouldn't even be in the 4-hole. They should be sliding him lower in the lineup around 6 until he actually starts being able to get back to his old ways. But, And it looks like Martinez's day is done. Sean in the building. What's good? Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. All right, let's take a look at Martinez's final line. 5.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 K, 70 pitches, 44 strikes. ERA goes down to 2.56. Came into the matchup with a 7-2 record and ERA of 2.61. And Cole Sulcer is coming in. All right, good opportunity here for the Mariners to start to slowly but surely kind of climb back into the matchup. Cole Sulcer coming in, the righty, and hopefully Dominic Canzone will be able to get a hold of one here. On deck is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Wild pitch goes in front of the pitcher. And that's going to be a 1-0 count. Sean in the building. What's good? One-0 pitch popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners on the corners at first and third and 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Rays. You know, and people can come in and raid, but it's not my job to acknowledge every single person. I got to do a job of 4 different people, you know, and again, you know, Yankee fans rooting for the Rays to lose, you know, that's your prerogative and whatnot, but I'm not going to drop everything just because someone comes in to try to raid a channel. You know, I got a lot of things that I got to be able to do on my end here. So, you know, some things are a little bit more important. So, you know, if people want to get all upset and mad that I'm not acknowledging everyone that is coming in a raid, then don't come in here and raid my channel. Go somewhere else. You know, I got a job to do. Top of the 6th inning, runners at first and third with 1 out. Tampa up 4-1 on the Mariners. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. One-two pitch popped up and out of play. Count still remains 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and third and 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 4-1 Tampa. One-two pitch, a little slow dribbler. Throw to second. No throw to first. And JP scores, and now it is 4-2 Tampa. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. These people in the raid are delusional. First pitch is inside there to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 0-1 count. One pitch, low and away, change up 83 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning, 4-2 Tampa. Plus, raids to me are kind of stupid because anyone that ends up raiding a channel, you know, if they sub, they're just going to take their sub away after a couple hours. They're not going to support the channel that they're hopping into, you know, so it's all about, you know, just fake. You know, it's just about, you know, just trying to put on a show, you know, and it doesn't mean anything. You know, like I said, you know, focusing on your own content is better than going into a channel and giving someone a bunch of fake likes and fake subs and then taking them away. You know, what's the point of doing that? It's stupid. And that is out number 3. But at least we ended up getting another run on the board. Now we're only down 4-2. Now, if you ended up getting people that were genuine, that actually would keep a like, keep a sub, and keep up with another channel, you know, that's one thing. But in my experience, you know, it's kind of pointless. You know, it's to focus on your own channel, focus on, you know, what's going on with the games that are at hand, you know, and, you know, choose more wisely next time. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning and see who's up next here for the Rays. I got stats, photos, and a lot of things to be able to work on, let alone to be able to acknowledge every single person that hops into a silly raid. Next up in the 8-hole, second baseman, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI, Richie Palacios. Batting second in the 9-hole, 1 for 2, catcher Hunter Fiducia. And batting third, 0 for 3, DHing, leadoff hitter Yandy Diaz. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, Bizzardo's coming into the game. Arroyo with his first home run last night. Great to be able to see Arroyo in AAA. Same thing with Lazaro Montes. Now we're going to bring in Edward Bizzardo, and hopefully we'll get a good version of Bizzardo here going against Richie Palacios. And at least we were able to cut into the lead with that Canzone. Grounds out into fielder's choice. Crawford scoring, making it 4-2 rather than 4-1. So I would love to be able to see a few more Cole Young at-bats to see if we can creep a little closer in this game. So first pitch from Bizzardo to Palacios. Takes a strike looking high and inside, 0-1 count. Sinker at 95 miles an hour there by Bizzardo. Oh, 1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Palacios. TJ in the building, what's good? One-two pitch, low and into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Palacios. I got you, Jerry. What's good, TJ? Two-two pitch, little blooper into center field and caught, and that is 1 away. Good catch there by Luke Raley in center, filling in for Julio Rodriguez. Yeah, and again, there's like 10 things, that have gone sideways this year for us to be where we're at right now. So, you just can't point the blame on, Randy only or Cal only. Again, it's, management, having guys be not as good as we thought, like Wu and Kirby and Mooney, injuries galore. We've had more injuries this season than any team in the last 40 years, so that's a big part of it. Not having Donnie since the first month and a half. Every star player on our team has been hurt for at least a couple games or a week, it seems like, and then losing 3 guys in our bullpen, Vargas, Brash, and Criswell, and having to have AAA guys fill in. There's a lot of reasons. Some of our pitching has been good at times, been also terrible at times. Bullpen has been good at times, terrible at times. Hitting, has been good at times, and also it's been terrible. I went to the game on the 4th of July. We put up 11 and went 11-0 and won the next game 4-0. But again, playing at home and on the road is completely different. So, there's a lot of things that have gone wrong, but with all that being said, we could be 15, 20 games below 500 and have the record of the Angels in last place. We have to be very thankful that the American League this year stinks. And, you got the Rays, you got the Yankees, you got the White Sox, the Guardians, and then the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers going to battle it out, out of those 3 teams for 2 spots, unless the Athletics can get better in the second half of the season. Angels will probably stay at the bottom. So as Fiducia ends up striking out there, and that is 2 away. But again, we'll see, how it goes. But there's not just one thing, that has gone wrong. And also Dan Wilson and his managing style, there's a lot, that has not gone right. But there's also some things that, haven't gone as bad as they could have, and we just have to be thankful, even though we normally are a 500 team. But remember, with all the injuries that we have, we easily, I'm talking easily could be 10 games below 500 with all the injuries that we've had. And luckily we have pretty good depth and we've gotten a little lucky, to be able to, still hover around first place. Now, if it was a normal year, we probably would be sitting in 3rd place, for a good chunk of the year. We had that 1 8-game win streak, but that's really only the big highlight, besides all the injuries and bad play that we've had. But I am confident in the team that they will get better and hopefully healthier in the second half of the season as Diaz ends up striking out. Good job there by Edward Bizzardo being clean there in that bottom of the 6th inning. And now we have a 3-inning sprint to try to be able to get another run or 2. And again, this is one of those teams, you have to be mentally tough. For a lot of us, we watched when we went on a 20-year drought. I still watched all the games, and again, it's like, if you can watch a team play for 20 straight years and have no hope of making the playoffs, that shows really how mentally tough you really are. And now, since 2022, and going forward until 2042, we should have a lot of playoff, chances and whatnot. So you just got to take it one step at a time. But for a lot of people, whether they're fair weather, bandwagon, or occasional watchers, it may be too tough to follow this team game in and game out. It's only going to be for the diehards. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball. First baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting second, 0 for 2, center fielder, Luke Raley. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. My favorite player on the team, a guy that's always going to play defense and offense, Cole Clutch Young. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Let's see if Cole can do it again. 63 subs to go to 24,500. Gained a couple more subs. Appreciate you. 61 subs to go to 24,500. Now let's see how close we are to the like number. We're at 110, 90 to 100, or 90 to 200. Also, another thing, the lack of patience for our batters besides JP, Dom, and Cole. You got to be able to have good patience in the box. And for the middle of the order, it's been not reliable. Top of the order and the bottom of the order for the most part is more reliable than the middle. And let's be real, Cal and Naylor and Raley, in the middle of the order have not really done what we expect them to do. Now, Luke has had a great year, overall with, Dominic Canzone. They've definitely stepped up this year, but lately, we could have gotten a little bit more production in the middle of the order. And as soon as I say that, Josh Naylor finally gets a bloop single into left field. Thank God. Finally, Naylor gets on base. Feels like it's been forever since Naylor did anything positive. Good job, Josh. Better late than never, right? Next up is Luke Raley, and with one swing, we can get a nuke from Luke. The game is tied. Let's go, Luke. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. First pitch is low and away. 1-0 count. And they got Clevenger now in the game for the Rays. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike from Clevenger to Raley. Naylor stealing a bag. One ball and 2 strikes to Luke Raley. And obviously Naylor being safe, which is fantastic. Got a runner in scoring position now. Big swing and a miss. And that is strike 3. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, they don't care about this channel, and again, they just want the Rays to lose because they obviously are in the same division, with them, and they obviously aren't playing as good, without Judge. It has nothing to do with us or me individually. And again, any like that you get or any sub that you get gets taken away. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly, again, if you're someone that's established, and way up there, like a Grossi, then that has meaning. But for all of these other channels that try to be like him, it's just kind of silly, because all it is just a bunch of fake likes, fake subs, and people that don't even really care. They're just trying to be able to, put on a face and then act like what I'm supposed to jump up and down because someone rated the channel. Like, I'm established here. I've been working really hard. I've been doing this for 14 years, 10 on YouTube, and again, it's like, I don't need to jump up and down and get excited. Like, maybe if I was first starting off as a streamer, yeah, maybe then, but again, this is not my first rodeo. So it's just ridiculous. People assuming that you're going to go crazy. I don't need to act like Speed, on the internet and make faces and act a fool just so they can get some enjoyment out of, coming into a room. It's like, pick and choose your battles. That's why I think, a lot of those things with rating is kind of dumb. If it actually meant something, yeah, then it might have some substance to it. But, a lot of fake likes, a lot of fake subs, they just, you get it and then they take it away. What's the point of that? It's just, there's no point to do it. Top of the 7th inning with a runner at second with 1 out. Next up is Cole Clutch Young. One-two pitch, big swing and a miss, down he goes, and that is 2 away. Tough at bat there for Cole Clutch Young. And I assumed if anyone like yourself was going to hop in there, they were going to complain and, act, sad or mad that I didn't overreact or whatever, I mean, I got to be able to do stats and, keep up with the chat and the photos, keep up with all the numbers. I'm sorry, I don't have time to acknowledge every individual from a fake raid that doesn't mean anything. Next up is Victor Robles. Oh, I definitely feel that we can win the AL West. First pitch from Clevenger to Robles with Naylor at second. Pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. But I appreciate it all day. I figured there would be at least one person in the room that would go in there and to investigate and whatnot. So, but my suspicions were right. One-0 pitch. And foul back behind the plate with the slider. 90 miles an hour there by Clevenger. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at second and 2 outs. Top of the 7th, 4-2 Tampa. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's the magic number for the Mariners every game. Martinez has been out for a long, long time. They had Martinez, Solster, and now Clevenger. So. Exactly. And again, it's like, people going in to a stream, just to talk shit. It's just so childish and petty, that people do that. Like if someone represents a team and then you just go in there to talk shit, like what do you think's going to happen? You're going to get blocked. Like, I hope that one sentence or 3 words was good enough for you, to be able to, to do that for these people that kind of do those things, regardless of the rivalry in basketball, baseball, football, or hockey. I feel that's one of the most childish things that you can do on YouTube. Go to a rival team's channel and just, try to, start a problem or start a fight. I mean, it's just pointless. But again, a lot of people are keyboard warriors on YouTube, right? We know that. And Robles grounds out to third, and that is out number 3. Next up, 1 for 3 in the 2-hole, first baseman Jonathan Aranda. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, base on ball, and a K, third baseman Junior Caminero. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K, center fielder Cedric Mullins. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. 60 subs to go to 24,500. And we're at 113 likes. All right, Jose Ferrer is in the game. And Bizzardo did a good job. One 0 pitch, takes a big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ferrer to Aranda. And a little blooper into Randy. And a single there for Jonathan Aranda. All right, hopefully this will be the good Jose Ferrer, not the bad. Nice base knock there by Aranda, but anything that goes to Randy ends up being a single, double, or triple. Next up, their best power hitter, going to be in the home run derby, third baseman Junior Caminero, 27 homers, and he'll definitely be my choice or one of the top choices to make it very deep in the home run derby in a couple days. Appreciate you, Jerry. Shout out to TJ and all day. Appreciate you. Bottom of the 7th inning, runner at first with no outs. 4 to Tampa. One 0 pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field. Gone. Yikes. And Caminero with his 28th home run, and that might have put the game a little bit out of reach. 6-2 Tampa. And we wanted the good Jose Ferrer, and I guess we didn't get it. And Junior Caminero showing why he has probably the best chance out of any participant to win the home run derby. He is one of the best power hitters in the game. 6-2 Tampa. Next up in the 4-hole, center fielder Cedric Mullins. On deck is Chandler Simpson. 385 feet there from Junior Caminero. Kind of similar to the Cal Raleigh home run on the 4th of July, where you had to kind of wait to see, is it going to be fair? Is it going to go foul? And was on the right side of the foul pole. And a big home run. That's number 28 for Junior Caminero. First pitch fouled off there by Cedric Mullins. 0-1 count. Little slow dribbler, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Fouls that one off himself. Chandler Simpson, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 7th inning. with nobody on and one out, 6-2 Tampa. After the 2-run blast there by Junior Caminero, 28th of the season. Little slow dribbler up the middle. And Jose Ferrer giving up another hit. Not ideal. It just seems like with our, strong guys, Ferrer, and obviously Bizzardo and Spire, sometimes they're really not that strong, and then you got AAA guys filling in for Carlos Vargas, Cooper Criswell, and Matt Brash, and it's just freaking killing us. First pitch fouled off and out of play there by Cedric Mullins. Or that's not Cedric Mullins. I don't know why they're going back here with the broadcast. All right, next up is Victor Mesa Jr. And a hard hit ball into Randy's area. Yikes. And another hit given up by Jose Ferrer. Ferrer looking terrible. Shows you how important the bullpen truly is. Just like when we feel like, Bizzardo did a good job, and then, Ferrer or Spire, ends up giving up a home run or something big. Just like in that first game against the Marlins when we were down 4-0, we came back and we're up 5-4. If Gabe Spire doesn't give up the home run to Hernandez, I think we win 5-4. And then we ran out of pitchers and had to have Rucker and extras. And, it's just not ideal, to have so many, of these AAA guys and then the guys that we count on. But not having Brash, not having Cooper Criswell and Vargas has really, really hurt us this year. And then obviously that first play when you had the ghost runner at second and Weston Wilson with no awareness went to third base and then killed the whole momentum of the drive. I already knew as soon as Weston Wilson got thrown out at third without paying attention where that ball was being hit, I already knew more than likely we were going to lose that game. And, you can't really trust Rucker or a Hoppy or a Simpson or a Davila, but again, same thing with Bizzardo and Spire and Ferrer. You expect those guys to be lights out because the other guys are AAA, but every once in a while you get one guy to be good, like today, Bizzardo, but then the other guy that you're supposed to trust, Ferrer, is kind of shitting the bed. And now we got Nick Davila coming in. There's a number of problems. I've just never seen so many injuries, on a Mariner ball club in the first half or even a full season ever. I've never seen a team look like this. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to think. But Nick Davila is in the game now. And it would be one thing if it was just like our bad players, injured. Like, Rob Refsnyder got hurt. That's not a big deal. Or if Garver went down and we had Pareda, it wouldn't hurt as bad. Because like last year, it's like you had Victor Robles, go running into the wall netting, right? That hurt, but it wasn't like, season's over, right? And then obviously we had Kirby out for the first couple months, and then we had Gilbert out, for a month and a half. But we didn't really have a lot of injuries last season, and we, obviously showed what we could do. But it seems like almost every player has been hurt, for at least a game or two, if not longer. And then obviously Donnie being out for months and guys being out for a week or two at a time with hammies and whatnot. It's just not ideal. Or Julio getting hit in the back of the head, from the Angels running to second base and getting a concussion. I don't know. We just got like the worst luck this year with injuries. Todd with a tenner. Appreciate you. Try to dance up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to Todd. 0-2 pitch from Davila. Hard hit ball towards first and foul. I don't know about pretty easily, because you don't know what's going to happen later on. And again, with Wu and Kirby inconsistency, Mooney's inconsistency, the lack of not having, Cooper Criswell, Matt Brash, and Carlos Vargas, and having AAA guys, I don't think it's going to be easy at all. Again, we have, probably the most talent out of any team in the American League. We don't have the best record, of course, but again, the Rangers and the Astros and the A's will probably make it interesting. The Angels will be at the bottom, and then you got obviously the Guardians and the White Sox, Rays and Yankees that will be in the playoffs more than likely. But I don't think it's necessarily going to be easy, because again, if it's anything like the first half of the season, we better hope that that we got most of these injuries out of the way. But the injuries are a big factor. Some guys playing worse than expected. Poor management, by Dan Wilson, but not having a consistent bullpen is, not been ideal. I mean, I've never seen a team that's considered good that's got a closer that's more times than not reliable, and then having, 3 guys that normally are in the pen not available due to injuries, and those guys are all out for months at a time. It's not like Vargas, Criswell, and Brash have only missed a week. We're talking about guys that are missing months, and you have to have AAA guys fill in, and that is not ideal. So, and we just have to be thankful that the American League stinks this year, and the AL West stinks this year. So even with all the bullshit, that we can still hover between first and third place. And then if we end up dropping to second or third, usually we're only a couple games back and we can make it up. So, but I do think that we will be very good after the All-Star break. 1-2 pitch popped up. Randy is there. And of course he doesn't throw a laser, throws a lob. Runner scores. 7-2 Tampa. If we were in the National League, we'd be sitting probably in 4th or 5th place, on, most of those, teams that are, obviously, the Dodgers are killing it, and the Brewers are incredible this year, and almost everybody in the Central for a good chunk of the year almost, was above 500 or pretty damn close, so we'll see how it all kind of plays out. But I don't think anyone anticipated the National League being so much better than the American League. And obviously having to play the Marlins and the Rays, the hottest team in baseball since June 1st, and then the best team in the American League back-to-back is not ideal. But again, hopefully we don't go 0-6. And then when we get into the All-Star break, we'll end up hopefully getting Julio back and Donnie back in reasonable amount of time. And if they can stay healthy for the rest of the year, it'll really help. Little slow dribbler. Cole Young is there, throw to Naylor, and then that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th inning and see who's up next here for the Mariners. And at this point, down by 5, chance of coming back, to tie this game or win is pretty slim. So at least individual stats, and try to get some momentum going into the next game with Logan Gilbert on the mound. And that will probably be the best chance of us winning a game since we have Emerson Hancock on Sunday. And with Hancock, it's probably a little bit better chance than Castillo, but we don't really know what we're going to get offensively. But with Gilbert on the mound, if he can play well, and the bats can come alive, that might be the one game that we have a chance to win, unless Hancock pitches a gem and then the bats come alive in that last game on Sunday morning. All right, next up, 2 for 3 with a run, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, left fielder, the former Tampa Bay Ray, Randy Arozarena. Actually, no, it's going to go Buddy Kennedy first, and then JP Crawford, and then Randy Arozarena. 60 subs to go to 24,500. 7-2 Tampa. All right, we're at 120 likes, 80 more to 200. Yeah, Julio got hit in the back of the head from the Angels, got a concussion, played another inning, and then they pulled him, and then he was on the 7-day IL. He was supposed to be back today, but then had a meeting with the trainers and the staff, and they advised that, to be out for the rest of these, last 3 games, so that way he can be more fresh, coming back. And I thought, having Julio back, would give us a better chance to at least win a game or two, but, his overall health for the long term is more important. So, we're not, even if Julio did come back, we might still get swept, right? This is the best team in the American League, but it would be cool to see Julio make some plays in center field and potentially get hits and RBIs and maybe a home run. But, we're just going to have to wait for Julio to be healthy after the All-Star break, which is probably the smart move. Throw to first, and Buddy Kennedy grounds out to third, and that is 1 away. But again, I was really hoping Julio would be back, for these last 3 games to at least give us another, great player, in center field to make defensive, plays, and a guy that potentially, could get hits and home runs. Because obviously the lack of hitting has been very obvious. And I hope Johnny Pareda gets called up to the roster at some point because, we could use his hitting for sure. He was doing really well, and the Mariners kind of have that tendency when a guy does well, they send him down. Remember Logan Evans ended up having one of the best games of the Mariners. And then what do they do after he has an incredible 9, 10, 11K game? They send him down to AAA. It's just kind of frustrating. It seems like management, isn't really on the same page, with the coaches and the fan base all times. But, we just got to be able to tread water and do our best, once we get past the All-Star break. 1-1 pitch to Crawford, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. And a little dribbler there, throw to first, and that is 2 away. Yeah, so essentially it turned into a 7-day IL to a 10-day IL, but... And I don't think it was really that serious. It's not like it was 110 miles an hour to the back of the head. It wasn't that, crazy. And it didn't hit him, square in the head. He had a batting helmet on, but still, you got to go into concussion protocol and, make sure that he's good to go. So first pitch into Arozarena is a ball, 1-0 count. Top of the 8th inning with nobody on and 2 outs, 7-2 Rays. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Yeah, they kept him in, that inning, which probably was a mistake, and then they had him play 1 inning, and then after they had him play 1 inning, then they pulled him, but it didn't really look that serious, but, nobody really knows besides Julio and the training staff and the medical staff. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And that is out number 3. Yeah, I think all of us are a little surprised that he's still out, And I don't know if it was, I would have to assume if it was Julio's decision, I would assume that he wants to play to try to help his team win in these last 3 games, even though it would be incredibly tough against the number 1 team in the American League. But, maybe the medical staff said, hey, we're playing the Rays. I know you want to play, but it's probably safe just to rest until after the All-Star break. And, and remember, Julio ended up giving up his All-Star spot and let Randy go, and it ended up working out for Julio having a good second half of the season. So maybe that's what they were thinking as well. So sometimes you got to sacrifice, for the bigger goal, And that's obviously a deep run in the playoffs this year. 50th year anniversary for the Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. Every stream we will dedicate it to one of my favorites of all time. You know who it is, Rick Riz. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up for the Rays, 1 for 3 with a K, Hunter Fiducia. Batting second, 0 for 4 with a K, DHing Yandy Diaz. And batting third, 2 for 4 with a run, first baseman Jonathan Aranda. And Cole Wilcox is coming in. $60 subs to go to 24,500. First round, 24th pick overall, and we're going to be able to get a good player. We've been able to get, Cole Young and Colt Emerson around 20 to 24, so. And we're at 122 likes. See if we can get to 150 before the game is over. And again, after watching this team for 40 years, I've never seen a Mariner team this beat up before. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. And normally we're a 500 team, and somehow by the depth of the roster, we're still, at that kind of same record, when normally we, have maybe a couple injuries, like maybe 2 or 3, maybe one significant one and 2 minor ones, and then this year it seems like we've had like 20, and again, it definitely has hurt us. There's no doubt about that. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike from Wilcox to Fiducia. But I do believe that we will be strong, and we're going to have a good chance to win the division. And for whatever reason, if we don't, I do believe we can get second and get a wild card. And, it seems like it'll be 3 teams battling for 2 spots. And Randy Arosarena catches the pop-up into left there from Fiducia, and that is 1 away. And that is at least one thing that Randy is good at, besides being a hitter in the box, is pop-ups. He's pretty damn good at those. It's just the ground balls we have an issue with. Next up is Yandy Diaz. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Yeah, and no matter the record, no matter the injuries, I will always support this team to the fullest and try to be as positive as possible, with whatever, problems are happening, and not every season is going to be like last year, but I do believe, with the American League, kind of being in a down year, it's up for grabs. We know the Rays are the best, right? Yankees are second. And then even with no Aaron Judge, but then you got the White Sox, the Guardians, the Mariners, the Rangers, and Astros all kind of in the same boat. So, I mean, it's really, Rays and Yankees are the top, but that doesn't mean that the White Sox, the Guardians, the Mariners, the Rangers, or the Astros could get potentially hot, in the second half of the year and go on an incredible run. I mean, it's possible. So, but once Aaron Judge comes back to the Yankees, it'll definitely give them a big boost. There's no doubt about that. But you could say the same when we get Julio and Brendan Donovan back. So, and Diaz lines out to right, and that is 2 away. And honestly, if you look at our roster, we probably have the most talented roster in the American League, player for player. But with all the injuries and poor play, things have gone a little sideways. We know the Yankees have an incredible lineup, if you look at their talent and whatnot. But, I mean, if you look at every roster in the American League, I don't think I would want to trade, for any of the other, rosters from what we have. It's just, we just got to be able to come together, less injuries, better play, more consistency, and hold people accountable, and And again, we got Lazaro Montes and Michael Arroyo in AAA finally. That's exciting. So we may be able to see one or two of those guys get called up for a couple games at some point this year. And then obviously Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan, still a little ways away, but the future is very bright for Seattle. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wilcox to Jonathan Aranda. Exactly. I'm excited to see how he does. I mean, he's been lights out. 1-2 pitch. No, that's from the Diaz at bat. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I'm using Mariners TV on the app, but it keeps like going back to like the previous, at bat. It's like I'm trying to get to the live point and I'm like refreshing. And then all of a sudden it'll like buffer. And then all of a sudden it's like way behind. And it's like showing something that I've already seen. Come on, Mariners TV. It says we're having errors loading the game. Well, no shit. I can already see that. Just have to close out and open it up. Next up is Junior Caminero. Big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Yeah, we definitely, even if you moved Castillo to the pen, that's not good enough, because again, even guys that we're supposed to trust in Bizardo and Spire and Ferrer, they're not really fully trustworthy. Sometimes they're great, but sometimes they have meltdowns, and it'd be nice to have guys that you can trust. And then you got a bunch of AAA guys, Simpson and Hoppy and Davila and Rucker, and even as bad as Carlos Vargas was last year, I'd rather have him than any AAA guy. And if we're talking about any farm guy, I'd rather have Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan than obviously these other guys, but they're not willing to call those guys up yet. So, but as bad as Vargas was, I'd rather have him, and even Cooper Criswell and Matt Brash, obviously missing Brash has really, really hurt us, because we know Criswell was sometimes good, sometimes bad. Vargas was sometimes good, sometimes bad. And Brash normally is electric, and one of the top, pieces, if not the best, but, we're not going to have access to those guys until August, it sounds like. And a little dribbler, toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th. Last ditch opportunity here for just stats to try to get a home run and just to bolster the stat line here. Next up, 0 for 3 with an RBI, DHing the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's see if we can get a Dom Bomb, baby. Batting second, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. They need to move him into the 6 hole. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a walk. First baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Trident's up, let's go M's. And again, Wu and Kirby have been worse than expected. Hancock and Miller have been better than expected. And then Logan started off, kind of shitty, going 0-2, but has actually been probably one of the strongest pitchers behind Miller right now. And then Castillo is dead last, but as of late, he's been somewhat decent, but we just haven't been able to get run support. So, and again, Castillo won't be on the team next year. Ref Snyder won't be on the team. We'll see if JP is on the team or not. So the team next year will look much, different than where we're sitting now. And hopefully we'll be in a better position starting pitching bullpen than we are right now. And then obviously maybe eliminating some of the other players in the 1 through 9 could help as well. So end of the 8th inning, 7-2 Tampa. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 60 subs to go to 24,500. And we'll start off against the Giants. And that'll be nice to be able to be back at home after the All-Star break. And we're at 124 likes, 26 to 150. And a little dribbler by Canzone, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Hoping Dom would work the count and to pitch 4, pitch 5, pitch 6 for a potential home run swing, but just gets a little single swing that ends up grounding out, and that is 1 away. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. On deck is Naylor. And Cal Raleigh overly aggressive again. First pitch, lined out to center. When is Cal going to learn to work the count? It just, doing the same thing over and over and over again is insanity. Next up is first baseman Josh Naylor. This could be potentially our last batter here, and we got to play better tomorrow, but at least we got Logan Gilbert on the mound tomorrow, who's our second best pitcher at the moment, with Bryce Miller probably being our best, Logan number 2. And then hopefully we can get Wu and Kirby, on that level and have a little bit more consistency. And then Hancock pitches after Gilbert, and then obviously we had Castillo today, so. First pitch is high and away with a sweeper, 78 miles an hour, 1-0 count. And a little dribbler there, right to the pitcher. Kelly, throw to first, and that is the ball game. Final score, Rays 7, Mariners 2. And it feels like when we were in that slump where we scored 0 to 3 runs for 12 or 13 games before we broke it and got 4, 6, and 8 runs and had the 11-run game on the 4th of July that I went to, but it's far and few between. Let's go over the stats here quickly for both. All right, Yandy Diaz, 0 for 5, which is rare. Jonathan Aranda, great game, 3 for 5 with a run. Junior Caminero, their best player on the team, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a home run. He was fantastic. He's my pick for the home run derby. Cedric Mullins, 1 for 4 with an RBI and a home run as well. Had a good game. Chandler Simpson, incredible game for him as well. 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Victor Mesa Jr., 3 for 4. Great game for him with a home run and RBI as well. Taylor Walls, 0 for 3 with an RBI. Richie Palacios, 1 for 4 with a home run and an RBI. Gave up way too many homers today. And in the 9-hole, catcher Hunter Fiducia, 1 for 4. And then let's go with the Mariners here quickly. All right, JP Crawford, 2 for 4 with a run. Randy Arosarena against his former team, 1 for 4. Dominic Canzone, 0 for 4 with the RBI. Cal Raleigh, 0 for 4. Josh Naylor, 1 for 3. Luke Raley, 0 for 3. Cole Clutch Young, my favorite player on the team, 1 for 3 with a home run. Great job, Cole. At least the one bright spot for the team today, Cole Clutch Young. Miles Masterboni, 0 for 2. And Buddy Kennedy, 0 for 3. So not exactly what we're looking for coming into today. But again, this is the number 1 team in the American League. So again, we just got to be able to tread water until we get to the second half of the season. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, final score, Rays 7, Mariners 2. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, Tridents up, and go Mariners.